In this slide, you are seeing Sarojini Naidu, poet and freedom fighter. Sarojini Naidu began writing at the age of 12. At the age of 26, her first collection of poems, named The Golden Threshold, was published, winning her great acclaim. She wrote poetry, plays, novels. For the unique musical style of poetry that she developed, she was given the title of Nightingale of India. She is a very great lady. She found ways to learn from different sources. For example, when she was forced to stop school due to illness, she read voraciously to learn new ideas. Her home had a regular stream of visitors who discussed topics such as women's empowerment, nationalism, etc. She listened to these discussions and learned different views. In each snapshot, identify which of the following unique possibilities were demonstrated by Sarojini Naidu and justify also. So out of these, some unique possibilities she demonstrated. Number 1, expressing ourselves, and number 2, learning in all parts of our life. सरोजनी नायडू जो कि एक कवयित्री थी, एक स्वतंत्रता सेनानी थी और उनका नाम बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध है, आप सब उनके बारे में जानते हैं। उन्होंने 12 वर्ष की अवस्था में ही लिखना शुरू कर दिया था। 26 वर्ष की उम्र तक उनका पहला जो संग्रह था गोल्डन थ्रेशहोल्ड के नाम से प्रकाशित हुआ, जिसमें उन्हें बहुत प्रशंसा मिली और उन्होंने कविता, नाटक व उपन्यास भी लिखे। कविता की अनूठी संगीत शैली विकसित करने के लिए ही उन्हें भारत कोकिला के खिताब से भी नवाजा गया था। उन्होंने विभिन्न स्रोतों से जानने का तरीका निकाला। जैसे उदाहरण के लिए, बीमारी की वजह से जब उन्हें स्कूल नहीं जाने के लिए मजबूर किया गया, तब उन्होंने नए विचारों को जानने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ाई की। उनके घर पर नियमित रूप से आगंतुकों का आना लगा ही रहता था, तो जो महिला सशक्तिकरण, राष्ट्रवाद जैसे विषयों पर वो चर्चा करते रहते थे। तो कुछ जो विशिष्ट संभावनाएं उनके द्वारा प्रदर्शित की गई वो थी आपके प्रसंग 1 के लिए स्वयं को व्यक्त करना और प्रसंग 2 के लिए जीवन के हर पहलू में सीखना। सरोजनी नायडू एज अ पोएट conscientiously improved her style of poetry, working towards excellence in it. Inspired by the Gopal Krishna Gokhale and Gandhiji, she joined the freedom movement and used her poetry, speeches and writings to express her patriotism and inspire others to join the freedom struggle. She decided her life and writings to this purpose. Though born in an upper caste Brahmin family in Hyderabad, she grew up appreciating its Islamic culture. She loved and regarded the sacredness of Muslims' ideas and traditions as much as Hindu ones. She worked for the cause of Hindu-Muslim unity. She believed in no distinctions between the people on the basis of caste, religion, gender. Gandhiji respected her influence with people from any community. He said, "I must confess that her presence is a great relief to me." At the time of the writing in Bombay in 1921, wherever she went, the writers laid down their arms. So she courageously fought in the freedom movement side by side with men and inspired other women to join in. She fearlessly confronted the British and presented her ideas and arguments on the various causes for India. Example, after the tragic massacre of the Jallianwala Bagh, she adapted the issues in the House of the Commons in London, refusing to give in to the British pressure. So in each snapshot, identify which of the following university possibilities were demonstrated by her: being heroic, expanding myself, living in harmony, seeking perfection, developing Shraddha, being a truth seeker. So some universal possibilities she demonstrated. For snapshot third, seeking perfection. For snapshot fourth, expanding myself. For snapshot 5, developing Shraddha. And for snapshot 6, living in harmony. And for snapshot 7, being heroic. सरोजनी नायडू ने कवयित्री के रूप में अपनी कविता की शैली में सुधार करने के लिए वो उत्कृष्टता व पूर्णता की दिशा में वो हमेशा काम करती रही। गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले और गांधी जी से प्रेरित होकर वे स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन में शामिल हो गए तथा अपनी देशभक्ति को और कविता को उन्होंने कविता, भाषण और लेखन का इस्तेमाल करके व्यक्त करते हुए अन्य लोगों को भी स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में शामिल होने के लिए प्रेरित किया। उन्होंने इस उद्देश्य के लिए अपने जीवन और लेख को समर्पित कर दिया। हालांकि उनका जन्म हैदराबाद के कुलीन ब्राह्मण परिवार में हुआ था, लेकिन उन्होंने इस्लामिक संस्कृति को बहुत सराहा। हिंदू आदर्शों व परंपराओं की तरह ही उन्होंने मुस्लिम आदर्शों व परंपराओं की पवित्रता को भी माना व चाहा। उन्होंने हिंदू मुस्लिम एकता के लिए काम किया। उन्हें जाति, धर्म व लिंग के आधार पर लोगों के बीच में भेद करना बिल्कुल भी पसंद नहीं था, न ही उनमें उस पर विश्वास था। गांधी जी किसी भी संप्रदाय के लोगों पर उनके प्रभाव का सम्मान करते थे। उन्होंने कहा भी था कि मैं कबूल करना चाहता हूँ कि उनकी उपस्थिति यानी सरोजनी नायडू की उपस्थिति मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी राहत है। 1921 के मुंबई के दंगे के समय वे जहाँ भी गई, दंगा करने वालों ने अपने हथियार डाल दिए। उन्होंने जब अन्य महिलाओं को स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में शामिल होने के लिए प्रेरित किया, वह स्वयं भी पुरुषों के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर हिम्मत के साथ स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में भाग लिया। उन्होंने निडर होकर अंग्रेज़ों का सामना किया तथा कई मुद्दों पर भारत के लिए अपने तर्क व विचार प्रस्तुत किए। उदाहरण के लिए जलियांवाला बाग के दुखद नरसंहार के बाद अंग्रेज़ों के दबाव में मना किए जाने पर भी लंदन में हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में उन्होंने इस मुद्दे पर बहस भी की। So here are some examples of unique possibilities that is demonstrated by the Sarojini Naidu: expressing ourselves, learning in all parts of our life. And some examples of the universal possibilities developed by Sarojini Naidu, that is being heroic, expanding myself, living in harmony, seeking perfection, developing Shraddha. Sarojini Naidu is remembered as a great national leader and awaker of women in India. She was made the first women governor of an Indian state in free India. Here is another slide. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, political leader and freedom fighter. And it's a very well-known name. He is our father of nation also. So in snapshot 1, at the age of 24, Gandhi went to South Africa to work as a lawyer for the Muslim Indian traders there. But when he saw the injustice and discriminatory treatment that non-whites received there, he took up the cause on behalf of the whole Indian community there. So here which possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji. So that's a being heroic and expanding myself. Snapshot second, at the request of the Gokhale, Gandhi returned to India in 1915. He travelled across the country to appreciate the true condition of the people in different parts of the country and to understand the culture, way of life and social practices followed in different places. So here the possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji developing Shraddha. In snapshot third, Gandhi was a prolific writer. He expressed his views in several articles in newspapers and political pamphlets. He wrote several books including his autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth. So here Gandhiji demonstrated the possibility of living in harmony. To get freedom for India, he wanted to develop a solution that would be suitable to the conditions of India in that period. For this, he needed to resolve several complex challenges. Example, the British military power was hard for Indians to fight against. British laws were oppressive. Indians lacked faith in our ability to be self-reliant. We had many disabling social practices that oppressed the poor, untouchables, women, etc. Thus, he developed the approach he called satyagraha, adherence to the truth through mass resistance, non-violence, civil disobedience, etc. So here the possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji is being heroic. In this snapshot, Gandhiji engaged and worked with the masses. He moved Congress from being a party for an elite few to one where a large number of people got involved, shared ideas, and worked together for our freedom. He transformed the freedom movement into a unified mass movement involving people from across the country. So here the possibility are demonstrated by the Gandhiji is living in harmony. Gandhiji practiced the quiet courage of non-violence resistance, being willing to suffer pain, lengthy charges, jail, etc. without responding in violence. So here the possibility demonstrated by him being heroic. His sense of duty wanted to include taking on the problems of the whole Indian nation as his own. Thus, when his brother angrily reminded him of his duty to his family, Gandhiji replied, saying that his definition of family had widened beyond his wife and children. So, to include all Indians, his duty was to all Indians. So, here the possibilities demonstrated by him being heroic and expanding myself. He fought for the equality of human beings. For example, he worked to uplift the status of women and improve the lives of the untouchables, whom he named Harijans, children of God. He united people from different religions and social backgrounds to stand together as Indians. He wrote, "We cannot afford to be intolerant. Intolerance betrays want of faith in one's cause." So here the possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji living in harmony and developing Shraddha. Gandhiji committed himself to discover the truth, Satya. So he took effort to practice truth in daily life, learn from his own mistakes and conduct experiments on himself. He wrote about his experiments in his autobiography also, The Story of My Experiments with Truth. So here the possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji is seeking perfection and being a truth seeker. In another snapshot is he sought to continuously develop himself towards perfecting his character through every situation. For example, as a youth in England, he continuously questioned every choice in terms of whether he was living up to his own standards of being a righteous person. So here the possibility is demonstrated by him seeking perfection and being heroic. Gandhiji had faith in the idea of the nationhood of India and had a vision of democracy that would be uniquely Indian-centered around villages. He was against merely transferring the established British system into the Indian hands. He warned, "You would make India English, and when it becomes English, it will be called not Hindustan but Englistan." So here the possibilities are demonstrated by the Gandhiji developing Shraddha and being heroic. For Gandhiji contributions, he is regarded as the father of nation. Universal possibilities he developed: number 1, expanding myself; number 2, being heroic; number 3, living in harmony; number 4, being a truth seeker; Number 5, seeking perfection. Number 7, developing Shraddha. Which of Gandhiji's universal possibility do you find most inspiring and why? Students, here is the summary of this session. Thus we learnt that it is the universal possibilities that made Jamshedji Tata not just another businessman but the father of Indian industry. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan not just another scientist but the father of the Green Revolution in India. Verghese Kurian not just another government engineer but the father of the White Revolution in India. Sarojini Naidu not just another poet but a national leader and awaker of the women in India. M.K. Gandhi not just another lawyer but the father of the nation. So students, in standard 8 we will focus on how to develop our universal possibilities so that we are not just good at what we do by developing our unique possibilities, but become great awakened citizens of India by developing our universal possibilities. Just as being heroic, expanding ourselves, being a truth seeker, living in a harmony, developing Shraddha, recognizing the sacred, seeking perfection. तो बच्चों, इस साल हम इस बात पर भी ध्यान केंद्रित करेंगे कि हम इन सार्वभौमिक संभावनाओं को कैसे विकसित करें, जिससे हम जो करें केवल उसमें ही अच्छा ना करें बल्कि अपनी विशिष्ट संभावना को भी विकसित कर सकें, बल्कि जो हमारी सार्वभौमिक संभावनाएं हैं उनको भी विकसित करें, विशिष्ट संभावनाओं के साथ साथ सार्वभौमिक संभावनाओं को भी। हम भारत देश के सर्वोत्कृष्ट अर्थात जागरूक नागरिक बन सकें, यानी हम साहसी बने, स्वयं का विस्तार करना सीखें, सत्य का खोजी बने, सद्भावना के साथ रहना सीखें, श्रद्धा को विकसित करें तथा उत्कृष्टता की खोज करें। And now it's end of session 1 of year 2. मुझे उम्मीद है कि आपने अच्छे से इसे सुना होगा। थोड़ा लेंदी सेशन था बट इंटरेस्टिंग था और हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा भी।